Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday I gave away five batter props. Out of those five batter props, I think two of them did get a hit, or three of them did get a hit. However, I did tell you that we're pretty expensive. I'm going to show you the reasoning behind. I actually showed you the reasoning why I thought they were going to get a hit. Some of them did not. Now, one of the biggest issues too is that we're getting closer to the All-Star break, which changes a lot of things. I've talked about this in basketball. I've talked about this for the last couple of seasons. Whenever we get closer to the All-Star break, everything starts to change. I'm going to actually write an entire article on this, so you guys can check that out once I post it. But for now, I do have one very strong play. Actually, it's actually the reason it's so strong is because they're actually underdogs, and you're going to get great odds on them. So let me talk about that play. I'm going to break down a couple of things on why I skipped a couple of things. And I'm going to show you guys another team that looks very strong, but it's up to you if you want to take them or not, obviously. So let me just kind of show what happened yesterday first, very quickly, and then we can get right into the play. Thank you guys for being here. I gave away 1 month for free yesterday or the day before. And then 1 week also I gave away for free. So I appreciate you guys that are here. So let's do this. This was one of the wins yesterday, which was the Twins and the Guardians on the under. No run first inning. I don't think I talked about the Braves. I think I showed it on the convergence screen. That's what I did. That came through for us, 10-5. I took this one as a live bet, Morocco and France. They ended up hitting right there. Bryce Turang is one of the players that I talked about. I gave away for free. I'm not sure if I talked about the Brewers or not. I think I only talked about I did mention the Brewers and the Braves, but it was very quickly. I didn't like go into the details. Once I got off the video yesterday, I did go back and place those, and as you can see right there, they hit. And then again, Twins and the Guardians overall. So 5 and 3 day overall. Thanks for being here, Coach. Appreciate you. All right. So this is something that I mentioned yesterday. Is if you did zero research, which basically if you had this thing called the Sharp Edge tool, which I'm going to show you, if I did zero research and I just took the plays that it was showing me on the convergence screen, two of the plays that I showed you there showed up on the convergence screen, which was the Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves. Both of those won. I showed you that yesterday's video. However, if you go back on the last 14 games or last 14 plays, it's hitting at a 71% hit rate. Okay, but that's not all the plays that it's showing. Is only like if you see a bunch of green right there. I want to make sure that you guys understand that. All right, Vic says, I absolutely love the Sharp Edge. Thank you, man. I put a lot of time and effort into that tool, especially for baseball, because it's got so many different factors. It's much more than basketball. So it took a lot longer to do that. And it was already built before the season started. I just had to update it. Anyway, the Sharp Tracker, which is the Sharp Plays. I noticed that when people log in, they go in there and they take a look. And the first thing they look at is the Sharp Plays. So if you were to go into the Sharp Plays, again, without doing zero research, if you were just to take every single play that said strong, it's hitting at a 62% hit rate. And you can see this thing actually has a lot more data overall. So it has a lot more plays than this one. This one only started tracking 14 games ago. This one has been tracking for about 35 games already. So there's over-unders, there's money lines, stuff like that. And again, without research, just taking those plays would have gotten you this percentages. So it's a 7-day free trial. Right now, it's currently free inside the Sharp Edge. I'm actually going to do I'm going to bring this up later. I'm not going to go into the details, but basically, I'm going to create a VIP section inside the Sharp Edge, and then that's going to filter out everything that the Sharp Edge is showing and just show it on one long page and say, this is what I'm going with pretty much. It's not going to be my plays, but it's going to be everything, the best plays of the Sharp Edge on one page. So I'll bring that up once I'm ready to do that. For now, it's still part of the Sharp Edge, so make sure you take advantage while it's there. This page right here, I like to talk about. I've been talking about this for about a week and a half. And like for example, yesterday the Athletics was one of the teams that was supposed to be one of the strongest line moves on the board was the Athletics. And because of this page right here, I stayed away. And sure enough, they ended up losing like 5-1 or something like that. So what this is, if you go to the third link on the description of this video, you'll go to this page for free. You don't have to log in. You don't have to put in your email. You don't have to pay me. It's literally for free. Bookmark this page and then you refresh it once per day in the morning. Anyways, what this is the top 5 teams in the last 14 days. So you can see the Boston Red Sox actually jumped up. The Cubs went down. Marlins is number 2, and the Rays went way down. They were actually number 1. Now they're number 4. Now, once you start getting, I'm not going to go into deeper on the Rays. The Rays did come up today, but I'm staying away from them because they're batting, as you can see right there, they actually dropped from number 1 to number 4. But not only that, their bats on OPS is dropping a lot too. So these kind of things is what starts triggering stuff to start looking at things. The other thing too is the Dodgers have been kind of stuck at this number 5 spot. They do have Ohtani playing today, but it's super expensive, and the line is shifting against them. So that's little side notes. But if we go now to the worst teams, the overall worst teams in the 14 days, it's the Athletics, the Yankees, the Royals, the Angels, and the Padres. As you can see, if you were on the video yesterday or you had access to this page, which is free, you would have seen that the Yankees have been number 1 worst for the last like 5 days. So then now I guess they finally won a game, and now they're actually going up, and the Athletics lost the game. So overall, it's good to know which ones are the best teams, which ones are the worst teams. This is not the end-all be-all information, but it tells you clearly where to take a look and where to start looking. Now, the thing that I added yesterday, and it paid off, again, because of the Athletics, is it matches up the top 10 teams. It looks at the top 10 teams, and then it looks at the worst 10 teams, and it says, okay, who's playing against each other? And it throws it right here into one simple, clean page or table. As you can see, the Cubs are number 3. They're going against the Cincinnati, number 24. Boston Red Sox are number 1. They're going against the Mets, number 23. And the Angels are number 27, going against the Twins, number 9. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. Good team versus bad team. Okay, again, this is not the end-all be-all information. This is just something that kind of starts pointing you in a direction that you want to start looking. So the Boston Red Sox is the game that I'm going to be looking at, the one I'm going to give away, and I'll explain why. So the Mets have been struggling. They're going against the Boston Red Sox today. What's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Thanks for the details. Last night was a banger. Yeah, so again, yesterday the 3 players did not get a hit. So those were the 3 losses because they were part of a parlay, but it was a five winners overall. All right, so another tool is right here, 7 days for free, Sharp Edge tool. It gives you a bunch of different tools, as you can see right here. I'm not going to go through every single one. But the other one that I take a look at heavily is the Sharp Line Monitor. So the Sharp Line Monitor, what it does, it goes on Pinnacle, and it starts scraping the information since the night before, which is yesterday. And then it tells you when was the last time it ran right here. And it tracks it every single, I think it's every 30 minutes or every hour. And it starts saying which teams are being moved in which direction. So for example, I'm going to show you 2 of them. I'm going to come down here. Let me see. So now that I'm seeing this actually moved the Marlins. Now it's moving in their favor. It was not moving in this direction earlier, but now it is. Something to pay attention to. The other one is you can see the Rays. So that's another thing. It was going down. It was actually going from favorite to more favorite. And now it's going up again, meaning it's going against them now. I already did their deep research on the Rays game. I actually cashed out on my bet because the starting pitcher is almost exactly the same. And I showed you they're dropping in value because they were number 1. Now they're number 4. And their bats are getting very cold. So that's the reason I'm staying away from the Rays. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Good morning, Albert. All right. So the Rays I'm staying away from. Let's keep going here. And then the Twins is barely moved. These other ones have not moved at all. And then the Rockies, it does say it's going in their favor. So the Dodgers, I'm not going to talk about that one. But then overall, if you didn't know how to read line moves, it literally goes scroll down to the bottom. It tells you the Rockies is moving in their favor 9 cents. The Phillies is moving in their favor, and the Nationals. But these are yellow because they move very slightly. They're not moving a lot. So that's just a line move tool. That's one of the data points for this tool. Okay. Once we have that, as you can see now, like I showed you the Rays earlier when this was taken, it was moving in their favor 12 cents, just like I showed you. Now it went back up again. So that's very important. The line is shifting away from them. So this is no longer valid as far as the S1 right here, which is source one. So there's other reasoning. I already showed you the batting is worse. The pitching is similar. The Tampa Bay Rays are like 18th on OPS in the last 7 days. So their value is dropping dramatically. And the Mariners have been winning games. So I'm staying away from the Mariners. I'm sorry, from the Rays, even though it does show right here, it does show very powerful. But again, I already showed you that the line is shifting away from them. Now, Boston, this one's very interesting because it's kind of split in the middle. Right there earlier today, I showed you it was going 12 cents. So let me actually go back and verify this because now I think it's going in the other direction. Let's take a look. Give me a second. Red Sox. Yeah, so you can see the Red Sox, it was underdog. Then they were becoming more favorite. And now they're going right back to where they started. So they have not lost value. They just went back to the original value as an underdog. Okay. So again, it's still an underdog play. It's very risky when they're underdogs. The Mets, they fired their coach about, I think, 2 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden they started winning games and their batters started getting a lot of hits and stuff like that. So I'll show you right here. 12 cents is no longer correct. Win probability is 56%, 54%. Standard play on the deep research. Expert insights say Boston is going to win. And then you got OPS, which is Boston is top 10, and the Mets are number 3. So again, they fired their coach. They started winning games, and their batters started getting a lot more hits. And you can see it right there. In the last 7 days, they're number 3 for getting on base. Now, the New York Mets are a little bit more favored to get over 3.5 runs compared to Boston. So the other one that shows up here is Diamondbacks, but that's no longer valid either. And not only that, the line shifted away from them again. And the Dodgers have Ohtani playing. This game is just trash. I'm not touching it at all because it's very toxic. You got Ohtani as the pitcher. You got they're supposed to win by 3 runs. They're super heavily favored. The line is shifting away from them, meaning it's going in the Diamondbacks' favor. Everything is contradicting in that game. It's not worth the value, in my opinion. So I'm staying away from the Dodgers. I already showed you the Boston Red Sox. They went from 118 to 120, so they are losing value. But I still like the play. I'm going to tell you why. Right here, the projected scores, it says that Mets are supposed to score 4. Red Sox, very similar. Red Sox, I showed you on this other screen over here. They're actually number 1 right now. In the last 14 days, they've become number 1. Their record is hitting at a 78.6%. I'm not going to go through all the details here, but it says there's a power surge, 6 out of 14 games. They've come back in 4 games out of 14. They've come back. The only thing that does suck with them is that their starters tend to leave the game early because they're either getting rocked or for other reasons. So anyways, overall team is B+, defense is A+, versus a C-graded team over here. Okay, so like I mentioned, the Mets are getting better, but they still suck. Now, Boston is putting up a gray. Let me go down here very quickly. So you got Sonny Gray versus McLean. That's the reason I like this play so much. Look at the ERA is 2.61, and then the FIP is 3.59. So it's very, very good on Boston. Okay, so somebody's saying Boston is missing their best batters. All right, that's good to know. I'm still taking this because the line, like I showed you, was shifting in their favor. Now it's going back up. So again, it's a great value for me, in my opinion, because I got them at a plus 130. So if you want to listen to what Pretty Boys' swag is saying, that's up to you guys. But Mets, did lose 30%. They're only hitting 70% of the thing. Like I showed you earlier, they went down. Now they're going back up. So this is contradicting that the overall slate is not great. I don't like too many other plays. So if you want to skip this, that's up to you. Like I said, but I'm putting a lot of trust in Sonny Gray and the pitching and the bullpen. So the bats, they're number 10 and number 3. But I feel that the strong pitching with Sonny Gray and the bullpen should be able to hold these bats on the Mets. So if you guys want to trust that, that's up to you. But because of the injuries, let me take a look at the injuries. Actually, let me not just do that. Give me a second. So let me go in here very quickly and just look at let's see who's injured or who's not playing. That's the other thing. I started off this video by saying that when it gets closer to the All-Star break, you have to pay very close attention that they start pulling starters, they start using more of the bullpen, or they start flipping the bullpen a lot faster. The starters start sitting out. There's a lot of things like that. Like I said, I'm going to write an entire article on that so you guys can check that out. But so I got Rafaela's playing, Ziegler's playing, Gonzalez, Yoshida. Who's missing here? Devers? No, Devers not even playing with them anymore. It doesn't show me the injuries, but from what I see here, the big one that I've noticed is Rafaela and Abreu, Yoshida, Duran. So I don't know who you're referring to that's not playing. One of their best bats. Okay. So I don't know if you want to put it out in the comments. That's up to you. But from what I see there, that's why they're offering such great value at a plus. I think I got it for a plus 120 or 130. All right, let me close this out because it drags the browser. Give me a second. All right. So, anyways, I'm putting, like I mentioned, I'm putting a lot of weight on the starting pitcher and the bullpen. That's what I'm doing. All right. Now, the other play that I was looking at was the Astros. You can see right there, the line is stuck at a 133, and it's currently still at a 133. So that is a risk already. And then you can see it's pretty much a coin toss on the projections, 3.5, 3.5. Then we start going down. The win probability is 57%. It's a very even team overall. In 10 out of all the stats, 10 categories, Texas does lead 7-3. And then we can start scrolling down more. You got the win probability. And then one of the things to note right here, it says that the market prices Houston to have a full run higher, 4.5 to a 3.5. So what this means is that DraftKings is saying that they're giving you the odds of 130, meaning that they believe Houston Rockets is going to score under 5 runs. But then you've reversed the other side. You look at the Texans, or sorry, not the Texans, the Rangers, and you see right there it says under 3.5 runs. So they're supposed to score less than 3 runs. Okay, so 1 run differential leaning towards Houston. On top of that, it's leaning towards the under. So that's just a side note. Both of these pitchers are very good. You can see the stats right there. I'm not going to go into all the details. For some reason, I don't know if this is correct or not. It says that Hunter Brown only played 1 game. I don't know if he did or not, but I don't want to go into the deeper research there. Like I said, I'm throwing this out as a lean. If you wanted to go deeper into this, he is rated as an A plus player. But you can see that it says win-loss ratio or win-loss rate is 1 game won, 1 game lost versus Cal Contrell. It's an A grade pitcher versus a D grade pitcher. Bullpen is very similar. And then the batting analysis, you got Houston is number 8 compared to Texas, number 22. So on-base percentage is stronger, pitching is stronger, bullpen is stronger. And then if you just, I'm not going to go through all these stats, but basically all these stats right here, it's going 7 of those stats are going towards Texas instead of Houston. So if you guys want to take that, that's another lean that I was looking at. It's up to you guys how you want to play that. I am taking the Boston Red Sox, and Wilson Contreras is suspended. Sorry, not hurt for Boston. Okay, that's good to know. he is their best player for sure. So that's good to know. All right. So the reason I'm not going to take longer on this video, and the reason I'm not going to go into more details here, is because I was working on something and I'm pretty drained. I've showed you how I come up with my batter props. I've showed you that I open them up in Outlier. I've showed you all the process of how I'm able to come through with the one hits, the RBIs, the stolen bases. I've done that in other videos. But now, instead of me opening up 15 tabs or 20 tabs, even though it's automated, it takes a lot of resources and it takes a lot of time just to load all those things up. So what I did is I filtered it out and I put it on one page. So this is literally, some of these batters is the ones I'm going with. So don't take all of them. I'm going to show you the type of stuff that I'm going to be looking at from now on a daily basis. So you can see right here, it says, so this is what I was talking about earlier, that this is going to become part of the VIP section of the Sharp Edge tool. So it'll still give you all the players filtered, but then there's an extra section that says these guys are much stronger, and these are the ones that 99% chance I'm going to go with, okay, or 95%. So anyways, I'm still cleaning this up. It still looks a little bit kind of goofy in my opinion, but it does give you the players. And this is super filtered from hundreds of players down to, what is this? 3, 1, 3, 4. So 8 survived, 7 killed. So out of the 15 batters that should have loaded up in individual tabs like I've showed you in the past, out of those 15 batters, only 8 of them survived. Okay, so I'm not going to go into all the details. You can take screenshots if you want, but basically, if you just take a quick glance at this, Freddie Freeman, we had him yesterday to get 1 hit. He ended up getting 2 hits. Everything is green for Freddie Freeman. You can see how expensive this is over here on MGM, on DK, on Caesars. He's facing this guy, Eduardo Rodriguez. He's been at bat 20 times. He's gotten 9 hits. So that's considered a .500 batting average versus that pitcher. On the road, he's a .303, which he's on the road today. And then against Arizona in general, not just that pitcher, but against Arizona in general, he's hitting at a 70% hit rate overall. So again, I'm not going to go through all the details, but basically this page is what's going to be part of the VIP inside of the Sharp Edge. So I hope you guys understand where I'm going with this. So anyways, Elliot Ramos is another one. Vinny Pasquiano, Rafael Devers, Kevin, how do you pronounce that? Maganago, Ben Rice, Rocio, and James Wood. I'm telling you right now, I'm skipping this guy, James Wood. He did not get a hit yesterday, and like I said, I'm still cleaning this up, but James Wood should have been kicked out of this just because he didn't get a hit yesterday. Or the last time they played. So anyways, you can see that these are all showing you avoid. I'm going to put a little explanation on why it's saying to avoid it. And eventually it's going to just not even say avoid. It'll say lean or not a lean, or if it's not even a lean, it's not even going to be on this page, to be honest. So anyway, I hope you guys got value out of this MLB hits deep filter. Let me show you what the original filter is, and then I'll show you what I just showed you what the deep filter is. So let's take a look here. Today's games. Where the hell is the, up here, props. So this is what the original filter is, and this is inside the Sharp Edge. It gives you all the batters for the hits, the total bases, the, what is this? The hits, runs, and RBIs, the 1 hits, and then it gives you the under RBIs over here, and then it gives you the under stolen bases. So right now I'm only working on the 1 hits, as you saw. So out of all these batters, they were all filtered out even further. And as you can see right there, Benintendi came up, Elliot Ramos, Freddie Freeman. This page that you're looking at right now, that's already part of the Sharp Edge. But the other stuff, this is even filtered down even further, and it has my criteria. That's going to be the VIP, because that's kind of my knowledge, my work that I've been doing for years. All right. This is already filtered, by the way, a lot. So you're getting a lot of value just by what you see there. Anyway, the last thing I'll show you is the Sharp plays. As you can see, nothing is showing up as strong today. So as soon as I saw this and all the other stuff that wasn't making sense, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to force anything. So I did have some batter props. Let me show you exactly what I have for today. If you guys are interested in the VIP, this is what I threw out this morning right before I jumped on this live. So all these plays right here is what I have in the VIP. This is the one I gave away just now, which is the Red Sox. And then I have another one money line, and all the other ones right here are props. This is a three-leg parlay for under stolen bases. All of these are no run first innings, and all of these are one hits right here. And those 3 1 hits, I just showed you that graph. So take a look at that. Most of the games will be rain delay. Starting pitchers might get scratched. Yeah, it sucks. Like I said, not only that, but it sucks when it starts getting closer to the All-Star break. So next week I'm going to be traveling, just so you guys know. Let me kind of zoom out a little bit. If you guys, once I'm done with this live and the video actually posts, if you leave a comment, you'll have a chance to win a 1-week VIP. I will be traveling to Las Vegas. I got invited to the World Poker tournament. I'm not going to be in the tournament, but I'll be like at events there because of that. And then there's going to be the championship for, it's not this weekend, it's next weekend. It's going to be the World Cup Championship watch party. It's going to be, what is the other one? The Poker Championship. And then the NBA players for the championship for the Summer League. So it's going to be a massive, weekend in Las Vegas. I'll be there also with a bunch of other handicappers from Winnable. There's some of the top creators on YouTube, on Instagram, all that stuff. I meet up with these guys at least 2 to 3 times a year, and I'll be over there in Las Vegas next week, starting Friday, all weekend. So just stay tuned for that. I'm going to be throwing out picks while I'm out there. And make sure you subscribe, guys. I'm going to throw out a lot more value than I do. All right, guys, thank you so much. Let's have a great day. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. And when I post this video, once I come off the live, refresh it and then leave a comment. Thank you guys so much. Let's have a great day.